Welcome to another episode of the Trade Sailor Project. This week's is a big episode. We're going to do 2 steps. The sail and the rig and the keel and the rudders. Alright, let's go. So today 2 steps. The keel and the rudder and the sail and rig. And I've done these 2 steps together because we have to balance the two. So we balance the keel and the rudder together with the sail and the rig. They work together. If the balance is not right, you might get a lee or say a ship that rounds up into the wind, or a ship that falls away off the wind too much. So the balance between these two is important. So let's start with the keel and rudder design. So the keel and the rudder geometry is based on experience, rule of thumb numbers, experience numbers. And they're based on, for example, sail area, lateral on the water plane, as displacement, etc. Different factors we use to determine in this stage the dimensions. And as I said, they're connected to the sail and rig design. So we balance the keel and rudder areas to the sail and the sail areas. By giving them the right balance, we stop the boat from turning into the wind or falling away from the wind. So for this boat, for the keel, I've gone for a long and shallow box keel. It's not a racing boat. Hopefully won't spend too much time sailing upwind. By making a long keel, the boat will track a lot better. And also we'll reduce the draft, which will help it going into narrower waters and ports with low sails. And for the keel shape, I used a NACA profile. So this is a profile that's used a lot in either aerodynamic aeroplane design or boat design, and it's a shape which gives the lowest resistance without stalling. For the rudder, I've gone for a twin rudder setup. This to be able to make the rudders higher aspect. So by having 2 rudders, I can split the required surface area over 2 rudders, and with a given depth I can make the blades longer and skinnier, which makes them more efficient. Plus, I don't want to have the prop behind the keel. I want to have as clean as flow into the prop, because I want to regenerate with the props. So by having them away from the keel, I get a cleaner flow into the props and hopefully more efficient regeneration. And also with double props, the regeneration is a lot easier. Also for the rudders, I used a NACA profile. Let's continue with the sail and rig design. Also, the sail and rig design are based on rule of thumb. So we get the area from our initial starting point, and we use that to set up. And this is also the balancing thing. So we have already got the keel and the rudders. Now we can place the sail and see how they compare. So let's continue with the sail and the rig. For this project, I've decided to go for a ketch rig. It's a slightly old-fashioned setup, but I like the sailing, being able to sail with the mizzen and the head sail in stronger winds. This gives a very safe and stable sailing platform. Having 2 masts, I can also use the booms as a cargo loading setup. And we have lower masts, which might make it cheaper and gives less air draft to go on the bridges. The sails, for me now, seeing they will be filling into the booms or behind the mast. Either one of the two, but we'll see that later in the project. So I've based the sail area on our initial starting point from the comparison ships of 450 square meters of sail. This looks like quite a lot. We'll see later in the project how it compares. So this is the model as I've got it at the moment. So I've balanced the sails with the keel and the rudder. And yeah, let's have a look at the 3D model on my computer. This is the 3D model. I've put the sails on and some masts. Masts are not sized yet for dimension, just to represent the masts. I haven't done the rigging itself yet, so the stainless steel wires are not done yet. But I have done the sail area. So it's a catch system. And I've added the keel. Like you see, a box keel. Might be a little bit thick, but we'll see how much ballast we're going to need. And I've put the rudders on. So I go for twin rudders. So this is the 3D model. So it's slowly becoming more and more like a complete ship. So that concludes this week's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. And next week we're going to go and do the general arrangement. This is I like a really fun part of the design, because here you get to play with layout, cargo. Also, we'll see if the masts won't be in the way. Yeah, and if you have any thoughts about the general arrangement, anything I should include, or any ideas, please let me know in the comments of this video, and I'll include it in next week's video. Okay, thanks. Hope to see you next week. Bye.